Hello and welcome to a 2v2 cast on Desert Showdown. Starting off in the bottom left hand corner we have John playing as the Warlock, and on the right hand corner we have Tharx Gamma playing as the Plague Champion. For the red side we have Jamona playing as the Lord Commissar in the top left corner, and in the top right corner we have KickinAce, or just Kickin in this case, playing as the Force Commander. Map Desert Showdown is quite a small map, don't actually see it too often, but this small map means that there's going to be tons of action, to be honest. People retreating to base, lots of models going to be killed this game, I would imagine. And Triple Dire Avengers on the left hand side versus Double Guardsman Sentinel means that there are definitely going to be a lot of models bled on this left hand side. On the right hand side, not as many models probably going to get bled, since it is Chaos versus Space Marines, a lot of Tactical Marines and Chaos Space Marines. But I would still imagine a fair amount of models getting killed. But already some engagements going down here between Lord Commissar and the Warlock. Warlock going to land special against that Commissar. His refractor shield was down, so the special does knock him down onto his feet. Sentinel is taking a loss of damage from Dire Avengers. Warlock now getting special there by the Commissar. In fact, the Commissar is not really taking much damage at all whatsoever, even though his shield has been down for the entire engagement. Meanwhile, on this right hand side even, Force Commander with his Battle Cry activated going to be fighting some heretics, going to be forcing a single squad off, and a second set of heretics coming in here for backup, but the Force Commander is going to be running away, and Tactical Marines are running away as well. Sentinel even going to go down here on this left hand side to some Dire Avengers. Guardsmen were blocking its path maybe for its retreat, or were not repairing it in time, or were not having enough repair power even to support it. But some scouts here for Kickin going to be retreating away, most likely going to lose a model, lost a model already, going to lose maybe a second model to these heretics upon retreat, and Tactical Marines trying to do what they can to actually keep the Chaos player away. And Jamona now making his way towards mid with his Double Guardsman is getting a Heavy Weapons team out. Heavy Weapons team might be a little bit risky, given that there are triple Dire Avengers, could see triple aspects of the Avenger way, could see triple plasma grenades, and also the Immolators maybe on the, or the Immolators are even already purchased on the wall. Like the Immolators are very effective against Heavy Weapons. Wow, this Guardsman squad is down to just 15 HP, but John is not focusing it down. He decides to jump onto the second Guardsman squad instead. But that Warlock though, that Immolator is already paying for itself, nearly wiping a Guardsman squad there already. Tactical Marines on the right hand side going to be pushing in. Force Commander is meleeing down that Plague Champion. The Plague Champion with only 8 melee DPS is going to be doing absolutely nothing to the Force Commander. The Force Commander will probably regenerate that damage that the Plague Champion done in melee in a couple of seconds. Havocs are set up, Devastators are set up, and both players are going to be forced to remain neutral with each other for now. Meanwhile, on this left hand side, Heavy Weapons team is taking a loss of damage here from these triple Dire Avengers. One squad forced off, Guardsmen coming in, the Commissar also coming in at the same time. Dire Avengers have nothing to actually protect against this Commissar and are forced to retreat away. The Warlock is in the area, but he himself is going to retreat away because he is too low to fight, and could be a power bash here for Jamona. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, grenade launchers have been upgraded onto the heretics to allow them to actually interrupt the Devastators of Kickin. At the same time, generators need to also get placed down for both players. 2 generators, each power pump for blue team. One about to get taken down here by some executed guardsmen. Meanwhile, red team have also got 2 generators on their natural here as well, so slightly behind in terms of power income compared to blue team. Guardsman going to be running away out of that immolated area there from the Warlock, and generator is going to get replaced down. Heavy Weapons team is also set up. The Immolator is on cooldown, but there is an aspect of the Avenger upgrade for one Dire Avenger squad. They might try and brute force this, trying to fleet their way into there. Meanwhile, the Warlock is also coming in for a flank as well. At the same time, grenade could get thrown down. Grenade is going to get thrown down, in fact, but it's slightly too close to the Warlock there, knocking him on his feet, so he's unable to actually finish off that Heavy Weapons team. Fleet Foot is on cooldown for the Warlock since he does not have enough energy. Meanwhile, the Chaos player is moving in. Devastator's going to get knocked down. Tharx is going to be pushing in those grenade launch heretics, doing so much damage to Kickin's Devastators. At the same time, Havocs are also set up, so these Tactical Marines are going to get suppressed in the end as well. Devastator's going to be losing a model there, giving 12 red. Tactical Marine's going to get forced off, and the Force Commander is allowed to actually run up to the CSM because he is not getting focused down, but now getting focused down, he will get forced off here. And Shotgun Scout's going to try and bash the power, where Shotgun Scout's not the most effective at power bashing. Devastator now going to get forced away. There is the Mucus Discharge, the Breath of Nurgle ability for the Plague Champion, allowing him to heal himself for 140 and nearby units for 70. And the Shotgun Scouts decide to forego their power bash. Dire Avengers were making their way over to that side, so they decide to move away, and ASM is going to be jumping in here. The grenade launcher heretics need to be careful. They're very vulnerable to bleeding to these ASMs. Really don't want to give them as any experience if you can avoid it. The more experience they have, the more they can jump in, and the tankier they get, the more damage they do. Same with all other units. But ASM even worse because they do spam their abilities quite a lot. That Warlock though, going in a little bit too far, is going to be taken down by the heavy weapons team and the Guardian, well not the Guardians, but the Guardsmen. Spotters on the field. Spotters an excellent choice against these triple dire Avengers here. Smoke shells along with the artillery shell to actually disperse the Guardsmen is extremely effective, since the triple dire Avengers tend to be very grouped up in together. Kickin going to be forcing away these heretics. Generator is even going to get repaired here at this point. Should be a fairly easy res though for Tharx to actually replace John, or to res John. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it because he kind of needs his play champion on this right hand side to keep Kickin at bay. Meanwhile, Jamona is going to try and go in here with his Commissar. No upgrades for him yet, but he is level 2 and is doing a lot of work here with that last pistol, even taking away another model of the Dire Avengers on retreat with that last pistol as well. Meanwhile, Kickin is going to be pushing in, going through a fairly heavy tier 1 build in the sense that he's got an ASMs, Devastators and Shotgun Scouts. There's a lot of power invested into his tier 1, but then Tharx is going to be the first person to tech up with a lighter tier 1 with only an upgrade, grenade launchers and havocs for him. But his lighter tier 1 may get him a bit punished right now as he's going in for a power bash. And I don't know if Tharx can actually defend that in time. The Warlock is going to try and leap in, then leaps out, but the heavy weapons team is set up to stop these Dire Avengers from pushing in forward. Spotter shell is going to come in at the same time. Grenade is already thrown, however, and it's a smoke grenade, and heavy weapons team is very spread apart, so the grenade not able to actually finish the heavy weapons team off at the same time, and a second grenade is thrown, forcing them to actually retreat away. Meanwhile, the Warlock is going to be fighting the Commissar here for the VP, and the Commissar will be forced off. The Warlock unable to actually chase any further. Dire Avengers going to be pushing in even further. Meanwhile, power bash here for Kickin is able to take down one generator, can take down another 2. The dispersion doesn't come in, and the Sword of Undeath coming in here for Tharx Gamma as well. I think that against the Force Commander he should have waited, since he was already taken up to tier 2, to have actually gone for the Plague Fist, because come tier 2 the Plague Fist is so good for controlling the Force Commander if he does get a teleporter pack and tries to use Battle Cry with a Thunder Hammer, for example. But the entire generator farm now taken down. Tactical Marines were able to finish off what was left on that generator farm. Tactical Marines may lose a model on retreats, but taking down the entire generator farm is always worth it. And Devastators also still in the area, going to be resetting them again, instead actually deciding to retreat away. You know, the heavy weapons team going to be resetting up once again, and John is making his way back out of base to actually fight Jamona, the Immolator, onto the Guardsmen, force them to move even closer. Dire Avengers able to get some shots in. These Guardsmen dangerously low, down to 100 HP, having to retreat through their own Immolator as well. The Dire Avengers too far away to actually get any grenades on, and instead grenades going to get thrown onto that heavy weapons team. Grenades are thrown, but they are a little bit too late, and heavy weapons team might lose a model on retreat to the Immolator Warlock, but he's just going to be capping instead. And meanwhile, Tharx is going to be pushing on the power, going to go in for a counter bash of his own after losing his own generator farm there to Kickin. Kickin is making his way back in. However, Bloodlet is going to be coming out for Tharx Gamma, and Kickin is going to be taken up to tier 2, nearly done with tier 2 in fact, and he'll be the final player to actually enter tier 2 as well. Devastator is going to be suppressing these Havocs, and Havocs going to be suppressing the Heretics. Havoc's going to be entering the building, but the Flaming Tactical Marines are in the area, and the ASM are on that entrance waiting for these Havocs to actually exit the building as well. And Tactical Marines going to be forcing off those CSM Havocs on a retreat path. The ASM and Force Commander don't have enough damage to actually finish them off. Might be able to take an extra model, if that, but unable to actually do so. Meanwhile, Jamona pushing in, does have an autocannon upgrade onto his heavy weapons team, and Dire Avengers were able to actually finish the power bash that Tharx started, but now power bash of his own farm here, as the autocannon is going to be tearing down his generator farm along with these guardsmen here as well. ASM Force Command doing a bit of blood capping, and Tactical Marines going to be burning down the generator farm once again. The flame on this Tactical Marine squad has been worth it so far for the squad, since it has burnt down multiple generator farms now. Guardian is going to be pushing in, but now autocannon with his AoE damage going to be a lot, and Spots is going to be knocking back all these Dire Avengers as well. Grenades going to get thrown down. Grenades thrown down in a bit of an awkward spot. It's actually missing the lead model, but catches out the back two models, and a third grenade could get thrown down, could wipe the squad if a third grenade was available though. Enough energy is available for the Dire Avengers, but apparently the grenade is on cooldown for that particular squad. Meanwhile, on this right hand side, the Force Commander taking so much damage. That is a lot of melee here with Heretics, the Plague Champion, and these Bloodletters. A Thunder Hammer might be a good choice here for that Force Commander. And if the Force Commander does go for the Thunder Hammer, then the Plague Champion himself should actually go for a Plague Fist. So when the Force Commander uses the Thunder Hammer and activates Battle Cry, you stun him and you kill him with your mass melee. Spotter is going to be landing another spotter shell. His Dire Avenger is going to be knocking him away. The Commissar is forced off though by the Warlock. And artillery spotters even getting a tier 3 upgrade. The heavy mortar cannon Harmonic going straight to tier 3. The only thing he's bought in tier 2 is actually the also cannon upgrade. He has no war gear whatsoever on his Lord Commissar as well. That also kind of going to be forcing away John at the moment. Meanwhile, the right hand side, Tharx has actually been forced off. ASM have been upgraded with a Sergeant. The Force Commander is also upgraded with a Thunder Hammer as well. Grenade Launcher Heretics trying to run away from these ASM. Bloodletters still in the field. Bloodletters though with no worship support now that the Heretics have been forced away. Those ASMs are in a little bit of trouble here. The Breath of Nurgle going to be healing up those Bloodletters. ASM going to be joining the fight now that the Force Commander is on the field. The Armor of Pestilence really needs to get purchased on that Plague Champion to prevent him from getting knocked over by that Force Commander's Battle Cry as well. And Tharx coming back in once again. The bases are so close together that you can actually come out of base so quickly as well. And Force Commander is going to be going in here. Does need to be a bit careful as he's surrounded by Heretics as well. Going to be jumping onto that autocannon. Grenade does get thrown down. Grenade's actually going to hit his own Force Commander though. But he does retreat away in time. Left hand side though, Harmona down to just a couple of units, did lose a guardsman squad down to just heavy weapons teams and spotters as well, as Commissar is even down on the ground as well. I'm not actually sure what happened on this side, but I must have missed it. But he is tier 3, so could actually try and wait for a vehicle to come in, since there isn't much to counter a vehicle other than Wraith Guard, but the Wraith Guard can miss their shots. Immolator is going to go down and the Warlock is going to get forced away here. Also retreats away before he gets knocked towards the army of Harmona and takes more damage than he needs. Meanwhile, Devastator set up in a very defensive position here for Kickin. Really wants to protect that generator farm from Tharx Gamma. Meanwhile, the generator farm though for Tharx needs to actually be reclaimed since it is in control of red teams right now. And you're also going to be setting up once again to try and bash down this generator farm. Blue team going to be down on an extremely low power income. If I look at the incomes right now, 16 power income for blue team. And even for red team is not much better situation at only plus 23. Wraith Guard though coming in here, and that heavy upper team does need to be careful. An Immolator or Destructor on top of the Wraith Guard salvo could be a bit too much. Warlock is going to be leaping in however, and trying to chase that heavy upper team away. On the other side, ASM going to be jumping onto the autocannon, and look how close the base is. The base turret is already firing away at them, but that autocannon squad, the base turret is not going to save them, but there's a big flank coming in with a lot of melee here. Devastator is going to be forced off, going to be losing a model there. Scouts do need to be careful. ASM retreating away already. Scouts retreating through that mass melee blob. Might even go down here in the end. 12 hit will go down in fact. Too much melee on retreat. They really should have maybe moved up to this area and then retreated away to have a nicer retreat path. And Wraith Guard doing a lot of damage here to the spotters. Is that a rocket run? It is a rocket run in fact. And John trying to retreat through the rocket run. Rocket run's caught out his entire army here, but does not actually wipe anything. Does an insane amount of damage to his entire army, but does not actually wipe anything. So he'll be forced to sit in base, heal, and also reinforce his units that he has. Force Commander, no armor on him just yet. I think some armor would probably help out quite a bit. A second CSM squad is also getting purchased here for Tharx Gamma, and that is probably because of the low power income for blue team. Still only 35 power income, but it's still higher than red teams, which is currently only at 22. Generators are getting placed down. Generators also placed down at the natural here, so red team's power income should spike up fairly soon. The CSM have been upgraded with the Mark of Khorne. In fact, the fresh CSM squad is also upgraded with the Mark of Khorne upgrade. This is a very melee heavy army here for Tharx Gamma. So the Force Commander with that Thunder Hammer should be able to have a little bit of fun with the army if he can actually land those specials without taking too much damage. That Lord Commissar game wave just 10 HP, Triple Guardian, sorry, going to be running up to that heavy weapons team. Needs to be careful, and in here there's a mass melee fight. Force Commander is using his specials and knocking everyone all over the place. The ASM though might be a little bit left out since they really can't stand up against most of this army, but they're going to be going for those grenade launcher heretics instead. Force Commander is destroying everything. Devastator is now set up inside that building, and artillery shell even coming down at the same time as well, and ASM's on the retreat path. Might be able to take down a couple of bloodletter models as well, but really wants to go in for these heretics apparently. Down to just 20 HP, but it looks like they will be able to get away, and the ASM is going to try and pick away some models here on retreat. Meanwhile, spotters, triple grenades getting thrown there here for John, and it's going to end up wiping those devastators there of Kickins inside that building, and Wraith Guard going to get forced off for him as well. Meanwhile, the ASMs and Force Commander still going around the area. I really think that he should get some armor, given how much mass melee there is. The extra armor, the Artificer's armor with the extra health regen, extra health and energy will just come in really handy overall, and it's a fairly cheap upgrade, only 25 power. And John going to be taken up to tier 3 as well, even though his power income is really half of what you want at only 29. He really wants to go tier 3, and I think a D-cannon would be extremely good on this map, given the amount of range a D-cannon actually has, and given how small the map is, it will get a lot of coverage. And Singularity versus IG is always good, but Harmona gain a Lehman Russ already here. The D-cannon might not be the best choice, and these Wraithguard will have to try and land their shots perfectly on this Lehman if they actually want to force it off the Lord Commissar. Still no upgrades on him yet, he is level 3, but some upgrades could come in quite handy for him to help him in the fight, but the Lehman Russ was more important to actually get out first on the field, since it will do so well against these triple dire Avengers. And also the Wraithguard not the best at countering a Lehman, since Lehman can just move around and try and avoid the shots. Guardsman and Heavy Weapons team should be able to provide enough repair support for that Lehman Russ as well. The mass melee army going to be pushing in here against some scouts, these unupgraded scouts in fact. Don't know why scouts. Okay, scouts were replaced because of a dreadnought now on the field. This melee dreadnought is going to be so strong against Tharx's army. His army consists purely of power melee. In fact, the aspiring champions on the CSM do have their melter pistols, but the melter pistols not going to be doing too much to a melee walker which has 1200 HP. But the dreadnought needs to be careful not to overextend. Lehman now on the field. Immolator onto that heavy weapons team, going to be forcing him off and forcing the guardsman off as well, and Wraithguard landing a fair amount of shots onto this Lehman as well. Immolator trying to do what he can but not doing too much. And the dreadnought is going to be sitting fairly statically here. But the Force Commander is going to be leading the charge in, does Battle Cry onto the Plague Champion. I think the Battle Cry should have maybe been saved for the entire blob rather than just a single person. But the Force Commander is going to be forced off that Plague Champion. The Plague Champion does not have the Armor of Pestilence, and I really think that he should get it, since it will prevent him from being knocked over and give him an extra 600 HP, which is always useful. The Mass Melee Army is just going to be moving around. The VP does belong to Kickin here, and the Grenade Launch Heretics are going to go in for the cap as well now. The Force Commander was always going to teleport in once again, but the Battle Cry is on cooldown, so it's very risky for him to actually jump into a mass melee army. In fact, he's just going to go down here straight away. The Dreadnought is going to be coming in, but the Plague Marines are on the field. The ASM going to be using the Merciless Strike to knock the melee army away, but the Dreadnought needs to be careful here. Plague Marines along with the Melter Pistols from the CSM can easily kill this Dreadnought. In fact, look how much damage the Dreadnought's already taken. It's down to just 2/3 HP. Really needs to use the Emperor's Fist to actually stun these melee units to prevent them from chasing any further, but it's not using the Emperor's Fist. Does have the energy, does have the ability of cooldown, so it really does need to use it. The Plague Marines are able to just land constant shots here as well. But the ASM are going to try and come to maybe jump to try and save it, but I don't think it's going to be in time, as a missile is going to be coming through, flying through that army and going to be killing the Dreadnought. Meanwhile, Lehman Russ doing so much work so far, is already halfway to level 2. Dire Avengers unable to do too much against the Lehman. A Bright Lance weapons team is getting purchased here for John, but I think that Bright Lance is the best choice. Grenade's going to get thrown down onto that heavy weapons team as well, going to be taking down 2 models, or in fact that lead model actually survived, apparently. But the Guardsmen are going to be capping in the mid VP. Meanwhile, the mass melee army here of Tharx is going to be moving around, quite mobile actually, since you get the Marker Horn upgrade. It gives you extra speed on your CSM. Warlock coming out of base once again, level 6 Warlock as well. But the mass melee army is moving around. The Commissar is still here, does actually have the Emperor's Wrath upgrade as well, but not seeing it used just yet. Is also getting the Fist of Brockus, but I feel like he might need some armor to actually go with that combination. And is already getting some armor to go with that combination. Is getting the Flak Jacket as well, so he can execute units. Could always execute the Dire Avengers Warlock that leads them. Could execute the Warlock that leads the Wraithguard if there is one on the field at the time. But the Fist of Brock is doing a lot of damage though to those Wraithguard, taking a model on retreat. The autocannon is what's going to force off these Dire Avengers in mid, and the melee arm is going to be tearing down that generator farm with the help of some Plague Marines. I thought this guided weapons team was upgraded to a Bright Lance weapons team, but it looks like it's actually cancelled that upgrade. And there's going to be a flank from Tharx against this autocannon. The autocannon really needs to be careful here. At the same time, Dire Avengers pushing in against that Lehman Russ, but the autocannon does need to reset up and just move out the way. It is retreating away, but there's just so much melee. Is it going to get chased down? Looks like it will be okay in the end. Does have 500 HP. It is level 4, so it's incredibly tanky. Triple grenades getting thrown onto the ground here. Only catch out a single Guardsman model under Lehman. Looks like it will be able to walk back to base. There is a lot of Melter Pistols here. Double Melter Pistols and Plasma Pistols, which good to do okay against this Lehman, but Lehman is an extremely tanky tank. Plague Marines also get a rear armor hit as well, but in the end Tharx is going to get forced off as Kickin is actually pushing in through, going for the generator farm, going for the cap onto the natural VP, and the Force Commander is repurchased once again. Commissar with that flat jacket could always try and execute some aspiring champions on retreat, doesn't actually have the energy for it just yet, and the ASM going to get tied up here by some Dire Avengers here of John. Graveguard pushing in through, trying to force melee onto the Lehman since there is a Commissar here trying to force melee onto them, so they're unable to actually use their ranged weapons. The Autocannon is going to set up on that Bright Lance weapons team. The Commissar should be able to take down a second Wraithguard model here with that Fist of Bbboscasts doing so much damage in melee, but decides to actually switch focus to the Warlock instead. Warlock really loses this engagement here, especially when the Refractor Shield does get turned on here, and that Warlock is definitely going to be going down. In fact, the Lehman just pops him at the very end, doing a lot of damage. Force Commander able to just kill some heretics there with the battle cry, and does retreat away, or is running away. No, is retreating away, sorry. And Chaos Terminator is called in here for Tharx Gamma as well. Tharx's army fairly large in comparison to Kickin's right now. Harmon's army is also fairly small compared to John's army as well. In fact, Fire Prism is out as a source of AV here. Terminator is also trying to use their Power Fist against this Lehman Russ as well, but the Lehman Russ is very tanky. Is level 2 as well, so does actually have an extra bit of health, and also has the Elite Tank Crew, which also gives an extra 100 HP, so it should be able to get out there fairly safe. Also kind of going to be firing away at these Dire Avengers, but they don't care too much. But the Fist of Bbboscasts combo on that Lord Commissar could do very well at picking up Dire Avenger models. Also has Emperor's Wrath available, which will force the squad to pretty much instantly retreat unless they actually want to get themselves killed. But Lehman is still in the area, getting some shots off. Fire Prism though, getting hit though, and Emperor's Wrath is going to go down. Fire Prism isn't moving, it's going to get hit by it. Fire Prism getting taken out. At the same time, the Eldar is going to wipe a Guardsman squad there. Lehman Russ is now losing some repair support, only has a heavy uppers team for repair support, but at the same time the Fire Prism taken down by that Emperor's Wrath was probably more important. Lehman Russ just missed his shot completely and fired off screen there. Going to be firing away though at that Guardian Weapons team, and that Guardian Weapons team does need to be a bit careful. Is that a Vanquish? Yeah, that's a Vanquisher cannon on that Lehman Russ as well by the looks of it. And that Vanquisher is destroying that Guardian Weapons team down to just 73 HP. Going to be taking down an extra model. Dire Avenger is going to be coming in at the same time. This left hand side, Predator is going to be coming out here for Kickin. The Predator's already taking a lot of damage here from these Plague Marines. Really needs that reinforced armor plating. Scouts are currently running away from the VP as well as getting chased by the Plague Champion as well. Wraithguard still trying to do what they can. The Vanquisher cannon very effective at picking off Wraithguard models because they have a lot of HP per model. In fact, the Vanquisher is just always good at picking off models since it's so good at single target damage. And it is level 3 as well at 947 HP. It's going to be very tanky, very difficult actually for John to actually kill. Force Commander is going in against this Plague Champion. Plague Champion still does not have that Armor of Pestilence, which I really want him to get just so he doesn't get knocked over by that Battle Cry. And more Guardsman squads have been bought here by Harmon to actually give that Lehman Russ some repair support as well. Dire Avenger is going to be able to get away with just low amounts of health, and the Stubbornness upgrade has been purchased here. I'm not sure the Stubbornness upgrade is going to work too well. As much as he's bought an extra 2 Guardsman squads, those Guardsmen are unleveled and might not be fit for combat. Lightning Claws even getting purchased on these Chaos Terminators. That's going to be even heavier of a melee army there for Tharx Gamma, really going for that melee heavy army, which is a bit risky to go for given that it's such a small map and that you can always use your base turrets to retreat, but Terminators don't care about base turrets, so they could always chase in that far if they really wanted to. Lehman taking a lot of damage here, down to 422 HP, 121 VPs to 42. Red team very low on the VPs right now. Autocannon trying to do what it can against these Dire Avengers. There's just been so much death throughout this game. And now the Fist of Bbboscasts versus the Immolator. The Immolator is going to lose this. The Fist of Bbboscasts is going to be able to get that sync kill there in the end. But the Commissar is also going to get forced off at the same time because he is fairly low. And I'm assuming that is the Force Commander in the center of this little blob here. He manages to get out just in time. Predator is trying to kite away at this army, but the army is just so large that it's very difficult for the Predator to do its work alone. The Bright Lance is also now purchased as well to try and fight this Lehman, who is nearly level 4. Red team though down to just 24 VPs is getting a bit close now. It's a 1-to-1 cap. But 121 VPs for blue team. They must be feeling a little bit more comfortable than red team, who are hanging on by a sliver. Scouts getting replaced here for Kickin really needs these repair support for this Predator. Predator's done alright so far, but it's very difficult to actually pick off models. against Space Marines. But Dire Avenger is going to be leaping in onto the Sparta squad. Lord Commissar is in the area. He is level 6 as well, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage here with this Fist of Brock as Sparta's desperately trying to get a cap. Unable to actually do so, getting chased now by these Dire Avengers. The Spartas should be able to get away just fine. They are level 4 as well. Grenade is going to get thrown onto that heavy weapons team as well, but the heavy weapons team able to actually tank it with that refractor shield and the fact that they are level 4 as well. But currently a 1-1 cap, still this Lehman still up. The Avengers trying to focus down the Guardsman. Guardsman now forced to back away. Grenades could always get thrown onto that Lehman Rust to try and kill it as well at the same time. Flat Jacket, I've not actually seen it get used too much this game from Harmona, but his Commissar is now level 7. Predator is going in, but the Chaos Predator is also on the field as well. The Chaos Predator currently unupgraded. Plasma and Tactical Marines as well. The Predator is going in a little bit too deep here against that Chaos Predator, and Terminator is going to be coming in with their Lightning Claws, getting some rear armor hits, and Plague Marines flanking the Predator as well. This Predator is going to go down, showing rear armor as well. One more hit from the Predator is going to be enough to actually finish off, and the Lightning Claw Terminators going to be destroying these Tactical Marines and ASM as well, and a Noxious Cloud as well to top it all off. Tactical Marines, in fact, is going to get wiped here. Terminator is going to go in for the cap, and the Force Commander here, down to just 200 HP, is trying to run away, but those CSM are chasing very fast, and more CSM on the retreat path as well. That Force Commander is most definitely going to go down here in the end. Plague Champion is going to go down at the same time, getting killed by some Guardsmen trying to chase away that Lord Commissar. Dire Avengers trying to go in for the cap, but just a bit too low, and that Orsa Cannon is going to be forcing them off. 99 VPs to 23. Wraithguard coming in once again. Kickin asking for a rematch. I'm going to say that they can still win. 23 VPs, the game is going to be very close. When the game is this close, you might as well try everything that you can. And Kickin, with enough requisition, should be able to buy back his Force Commander, since his Force Commander has been so effective against Tharx's army. Bright Lance is set up, but names are actually fired. Lehman is set up slightly too short around this corner, and the Commissar is going to be on the field forcing off those Wraithguards, still on 600 HP, going to be forced off that Bright Lance next. Should be able to take a model, but decides to actually switch focus to the Dire Avengers, who are trying to run in for a sneak cap here. Grenade is thrown down onto the heavy weapons team. 74 VPs to 23. Harmona in control of these two red VPs, but now Tharx Gamma is making his way to this left hand side. Harmona's going to have his hand on two players at the same time. Meanwhile, Kickin trying to actually get a capture onto the natural here of blue teams. An orbital bombardment is also going to go down, going to be catching out those Chaos Terminators, going to be catching out the Chaos Predator as well. Meanwhile, at this left hand side, CSM forced off, and it looks like Tharx doesn't notice that Predator actually dying before the beam even goes off. And Dire Avengers making its way towards mid. Meanwhile, some more Chaos Space Marines coming in. 54 VPs to 23. Plague Marines firing away at that Lehman Rust, and everything is just going to go in. Bloodletters and CSM going to be focusing down the Guardsmen, going to be taking away the repair support. Flare is even dropped down onto the Bright Lance weapons team. Wraithguard trying to do what they can against this Lehman. This Lehman is definitely going to be going down here. It's just a little bit too far forward here. And Bright Lance going to get a rear armor hit and finish it off. ASM is trying to do what they can in the area, but there's just not enough units here for Red Team to actually prevent this cap. Red Team though on a 2-0 cap though. Force Commander again trying to stop these Terminators from capping, but unable to actually do so. Scouts coming in once again to actually get a decap here for Red Team, but the Force Commander alone might need to be a little bit careful. The Chaos Terminators with their Lightning Claws doing 70 power melee damage each, in fact just teleporting away for the Scouts. Scouts unable to actually get the decap in time. Meanwhile, Blue Team trying to cap the natural, unable to actually cap the natural, going to get forced off here. Meanwhile, the contested VP in mid, Blue Team are going to cap it. Blue Team in control of this right hand VP as well. It's going to be a 2-1 cap for them. Wraithguard pushing in through this left hand side, going to be tearing down this heavy weapons team. Spotters get to reduce the range of them. In fact, it's actually a heavy mortar shell, taking down a model. In fact, that thing is powerful. The Blue Team on a 2-1 cap. Red Team without enough units in the area might not be able to actually get the game. Harmona really needs to push in very quickly now to this center VP. Commander was just repurchased there. I think that was Harmona's commander. Yep, Harmona's commander repurchased. Coming out of base now. 9 VPs is the decap from the Spartans, going to be in time. There are Bloodletters and Chaos Space Marines coming in. There's even a nuke going off. These guys were getting absolutely shredded by this nuke as well, but able to actually live. Overall, the Commissar is going to try and walk past it. Spotters retreating away here, and the Chaos Space Marine is going to go in for a cap. Now, if they get the cap, then this is game, but the Emperor's Wrath is not available though for the Lord Commissar, since he did upgrade to the Stubbornness instead. 3 VPs now for Red Team, 24 for Blue Team. And the CSM are properly surrounding this VP, so if one model dies, the second model will take over the capping here. and the Commissar unable to actually kill them in time. That Fist of Brockers can only do so much work, and the VPs will tick down. Blue team are going to be taking the game, and there's just so much death throughout this game. Just look at the amount of charred ground here. If the models were, you can look at all these models on the ground as well. It's just insanity.